In punctuation, a word divider is a glyph that separates written words. In languages which use the Latin, Cyrillic, and Arabic alphabets, as well as other languages of Europe and the Mideast, the word divider is a blank space, or white space, a convention which is spreading, along with other aspects of European punctuation, to Asia and Africa. However, many languages of East Asia are written without word separation. In character encoding, word segmentation depends on which characters are defined as word dividers. History. In ancient Egyptian, determinatives may have been used as much to demarcate word boundaries as to disambiguate the semantics of words. Rarely in Assyrian cuneiform, but commonly in the later cuneiform Ugaritic alphabet, a vertical stroke was used to separate words. In Old Persian cuneiform, a diagonally sloping wedge was used. As the alphabet spread throughout the ancient world, words were often run together without division, and this practice remained until recently in much of South and Southeast Asia. However, not infrequently in inscriptions a vertical line, and in manuscripts a single, double, or triple interpunct was used to divide words. This practice was found in Phoenician, Aramaic, Hebrew, Greek, and Latin, and continues today with Ethiopic, though the white space is gaining ground. Scripture continua. The early alphabetic writing systems, such as the Phoenician alphabet, had only signs for consonants. Without them form of visible word dividers, parsing a text into its separate words would have been a puzzle. With the introduction of letters representing vowels in the Greek alphabet, the need for interword separation became much less. The earliest Greek inscriptions used interpuncts, as was common in the writing systems which preceded it, but soon the practice of scripture continua, continuous writing in which all words ran together without separation, became common. Use of spaces in medieval Latin. The interpunct died out in Latin only after the Classic period, sometime around the year 200 CE, as the Greek style of scripture continua became fashionable. In the 7th century, Irish monks started using blank spaces and introduced the script to France. By the 8th and 9th century, spacing was being used fairly consistently across Europe. Types of word divider. Non-alphabetic writing without interword separation, known as scripture continua, was used in ancient Egyptian. It appeared in post-classical Latin after several centuries of the use of the interpunct. Traditionally, scripture continua was used for the Indic alphabets of South and Southeast Asia and Hangul of Korea, but spacing is now used with Hangul and increasingly with the Indic alphabets. Today, Chinese and Japanese are the main scripts consistently written without punctuation to separate words. In classical Chinese, a word and a character were almost the same thing, so that word dividers would have been superfluous. Although modern Mandarin has numerous polysyllabic words, and each syllable is written with a distinct character, the conceptual link between character and word, or at least morpheme, remains strong, and no need is felt for word separation apart from what characters already provide. Space is the most common word divider, especially in Latin script. Vertical lines. Ancient inscribed and cuneiform script such as Anatolian hieroglyphs frequently used short vertical lines to separate words, as did Linear B. In manuscripts, vertical lines were more commonly used for larger breaks, equivalent to the Latin comma and period. This was the case for Biblical Hebrew and continues with many Indic scripts today. Interpunct, multiple dots, and hyperdiastole, as noted above. The single and double interpunct were used in manuscripts throughout the ancient world. For example, Ethiopic inscriptions used a vertical line, whereas manuscripts used double dots resembling a colon. The latter practice continues today, though the space is making inroads. words. Classical Latin used the interpunct in both paper manuscripts and stone inscriptions. Ancient Greek orthography used between 2 and 5 dots as word separators, as well as the hyperdiastole. Different letter forms. In the modern Hebrew and Arabic alphabets, some letters have distinct forms at the ends and/or beginnings of words. This demarcation is used in addition to spacing. Vertical arrangement. The Nasta-like U form of Islamic calligraphy uses vertical arrangement to separate words. The beginning of each word is written higher than the end of the preceding word, so that a line of text takes on a sawtooth appearance. Cyrillic spread from Persia and today is used for Persian, Uyghur, Pashto, and Urdu. Pause in fingerspelling and in Morse code. Words are separated by a pause.